Hello, and thank you for tuning in. You're watching After the Final Whistle, where we talk current topics in the world of sports. I'm your host, Hunter Sanders, alongside Kirk Bell-Cox and Bree Houston. We have a lot of exciting sports talk on the agenda today, including another round of pop-up and an inside look at intramural sports at APSU. But first, there's a lot going on in the world of basketball, both professionally and collegiately. Let's start with the NBA. Kirk, Bree, we're just 10 games from the NBA playoffs, and this year more than ever it seems it's a toss-up for who takes home the NBA Finals trophy. We'll start with Kirk. Who do you think wins the NBA championship in June?
Well, I'm a little different. I think it'll be the Philadelphia 76ers, and let me tell you why. Point guard, 6'10", a 6'10" point guard. We haven't seen that since Magic Johnson. We have an unstoppable force at the center position at Joel Embiid, and they have a new bench with after trades they brought in. They brought in Mike Scott and Tobias Harris. So they have a new revitalized team. So I just think they can give any team in the NBA a run for their money. And they can take the Golden State Warriors to 7 games, and they will beat the Golden State Warriors.
Okay, bold pick. Bree?
Well, let me tell you why the 76ers are not contenders. First of all, the Golden State Warriors, they have every piece they need. They have defense, they have offense, they have the Splash Brothers, they have Kevin Durant. Like, they're about to three-peat. And I hate to say it because I am a LeBron fan, but the truth of the matter is they stuck together. They know how to get it through those long games in the finals. They know how to make things work. They know how to come together as a team. They've been here. They've experienced this before. So they're going to win again, and 76ers aren't even going to be remembered. Like, who? The 76ers? Was that a real answer?
It is, and because the 76ers have every piece, and they're able to match up so well with the Warriors. You have Ben Simmons versus Steph Curry, Kevin Durant versus Jimmy Butler, and Klay Thompson, who can't create his own shot off the dribble, will have to go up against Tobias Harris. So I think the Warriors have every piece. I mean, the Sixers have every piece.
No, you said it right. The Warriors have every piece
to be able to clash with the Warriors. I don't think anybody stops the Sixers in the East. I think the Warriors is the only competition they have.
I think he's very, very badly mistaken. We'll see, though. We have, 10 games before we go to the finals, and then we'll see the Warriors take it out, even though, I want LeBron to get another ring under his belt. But, the truth is the Warriors are going to win.
I would love to see Steph Curry try to guard Ben Simmons on the post.
That would be a very interesting matchup.
I will say it's a tough argument against the Warriors. But a team I heard neither of you guys mention was the Milwaukee Bucks. They're going to be coming in as the 1 seed in the East. We all know they possess a superstar and the Greek Freak up there. Do you guys think they're championship contenders this year, or do you think they're just pretenders?
I will start. I think the Bucks are pretenders, and here's why. The Bucks share the same statistics and the same head coach, believe it or not, as the 2014-2015 Atlanta Hawks. Mike Budenholzer was the coach for that team that went 60-22. Everybody expected them to make a long run in the playoffs. Well, they lost in the first round. So the Bucks will not be championship contenders this season. Maybe next season when they can add some more pieces to the puzzle, but right now they do not have enough around Giannis Antetokounmpo to warrant a deep.
Giannis Antetokounmpo. I said it right. He's a great player. His physicality is on another level. Before and after picture, actually, of this guy. They call him a Greek Freak for a reason. He added so many pounds of muscle. Like, the picture before and after is crazy, but I just don't see, he can't do it by himself. He needs people, and yes, there are other players on the team who could help him in this, journey to become a championship contender, but it's just not all there yet. I think, they get some more players out there to Milwaukee with Giannis to surround him, then maybe they can contend.
Okay, you guys both talked about the Bucks possibly adding some new pieces for next season. This year in free agency, there are a lot of big names, including Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Kyrie Irving, and Kawhi Leonard. Where do you think those big names will go?
I'll start. I think Kevin Durant, I think he leaves Golden State.
Okay.
I think he breaks the dynasty up. I think he goes to the New York Knicks. And here's why. He has heard everybody, all the criticism in Golden State. He wants to win by himself. He can do that in New York. New York is a terrible basketball city right now. Terrible. They have not been to playoffs since 2010. So Kevin Durant goes to New York and revitalizes that franchise. Bam. He has everybody's respect now, and he can go on about his career. Kyrie Irving leaves Boston, and he goes to my favorite team, the Los Angeles Lakers. Okay. He teams up with LeBron James. They go back and beat Golden State Warriors, but that's neither here nor there. And Jimmy Butler, I think he stays put in Philadelphia.
Okay. Bree?
I mean, listening to some of his responses kind of have me discombobulated right now. First of all, Kevin Durant doesn't leave Golden State. New York is a dream killer. If you guys remember, Carmelo Anthony, he went out there to try to make something of his career. Still no ring. Still not even on the New York and the team. And even the Nets. I don't know if you guys remember. They had Jason Williams. They had Paul Pierce. They had all these players. And New York just seems like a dream killer to me. It never works out when teams, lately, when players go to New York to try to, get this title and to win on their own. Well, Kevin Durant doesn't leave because he wants people to like him, right? He was so heartbroken when he left OKC and went to Golden State. You remember not too long ago he had that the fake Twitter page. He really cares about what people think. That really broke him when people were talking bad about him and saying those rude things. I don't think he can take it. So I don't see Kevin Durant leaving again. He doesn't want to disappoint the fans. No way Kyrie Irving goes to LA. He just got out of the situation with LeBron in Cleveland. He said he was tired of being the little brother. He wanted his own team. Well, Kyrie, now you got it. So you have Boston and you're dealing with all the drama that you're dealing with. You wanted it. Go ahead, take it. I don't see him going. And he might be right about Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler might stay put. But however, I do see Leonard going to the Lakers.
Okay.
Because that is where he's from. And it would be a dynamic duel between him and LeBron James to team up, plus all the other pieces they have around them. I think they would be unstoppable.
And that is who I forgot to mention is Kawhi Leonard. I do not think he goes to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Wow. He's from LA. He wants to go back home.
Kawhi Leonard goes to the Los Angeles Clippers, where he can be the leader of his team.
Wow.
I think he goes there. He can lead the team. He can lead the team in shot attempts, scoring, all that. He's a leader right now in Toronto. He goes to the Clippers. He's a leader, best player on that team right now.
He wants a ring. He goes to LA. He wants to lead his team and be like Kyrie and get nowhere. He goes to the Clippers.
Okay. I will say if Kevin Durant goes to New York, the New York Knicks will have a lottery pick, potentially get Zion Williams or R.J. Barrett. They could be a force to reckon with next year. Moving on. Rookie of the Year this year is going to be a toss-up. You have two very strong players in Trae Young and Luka Doncic. What are you guys' thoughts?
I think that Trae Young is the Rookie of the Year. Luka Doncic is Rookie of the Year with 21, 7, and 6. He's had 5 triple-doubles this year, and I think he's the best rookie out of this draft class. He's only 19 years old. He's been playing professional basketball since he was 14. I mean, the guy's great.
Okay.
I have to agree with him. Luka came out at the beginning of the season and dominated. And people were like, who is this kid? Luka, he has it all. He can shoot, he can pass, he does amazingly. And it hasn't been since after the All-Star weekend where Trae Young has turned it on. The first 2 or 3 months of the season, he wasn't doing so well. People were really, really speaking badly about him. I actually have some numbers. Since the All-Star break, Trae Young is averaging 25 points per game. Luka is averaging 23. But what really got me is right now the league is the three-point league. Even the bigs are stepping out and shooting. And Trae Young is at 42% behind the arc. And then you have Luka, which is 27. So Trae Young has done an amazing job since the All-Star, but I still just think, Luka has already came out and, made a name for himself. As for Trae, he's trying to recover, some of the things that he has done where he was coming out not shooting well, not playing up to what people thought or how people thought he would be able to play.
Mm-hmm. And I was not a believer in Trae Young. I will say that, but he has stepped his game up. I was not a believer in him in college. I didn't think his game would translate to the NBA very well. I thought he would be another Jimmer Fredette. coming into the NBA. But he has made a believer out of me. He's averaging 18, 3, and 8. So he's been a lot better than I've given him credit for. I think if that team gets a lot more talent around him, he could be a Steph Curry light player.
I think he definitely has time to become better. If you remember J.J. Redick, when his Duke days, he was an amazing player. He got into the NBA and almost was forgotten. But now he has transformed into an amazing, talented player. So Trae Young definitely has the opportunity to be like a J.J. Redick rather than a Jimmer Fredette, where he's, you know, off to overseas playing instead of playing in the league.
Yeah, Trae Young had a lot of critics going into this year. I heard multiple people say that he was going to be a bust. And then, like you guys said, Luka Doncic, kind of came out of nowhere. Another surprise for me this season, we talked about it a little bit last week, has been the LA Lakers. The LeBron deal hasn't worked out so far. Do you guys think they should consider trading him?
I'm a Lakers fan, so this is hit hard for me. So I don't think they should trade LeBron. And the reason is not because he's a great player. The reason is because he doesn't have any value. He's 34 years old. That's all that you need to say there. He's 34 years old. He's the greatest player ever, one of the greatest players in the NBA.
The greatest player ever.
But he's 34.
Okay.
He doesn't have much left. So if they trade him, they get maybe a lottery pick, maybe a second-round pick. They won't get much. So I'd say keep him now.
Okay.
That way, they can build teams around him. He can teach the younger guys. So.
Well, I think that, you know, they definitely shouldn't trade LeBron James. He's the best player in the league. He might be 34 now, but let's not forget who he is. Let's not forget what he's capable of doing. You know, right now, this is his first year with the Lakers. They are not gelled. They don't have any chemistry right now, but to trade LeBron James would be the biggest mistake the LA Lakers have ever made in franchise history.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. That's enough NBA basketball for now. We're going to throw it to Justin Wagner, who has a take on NCAA March Madness.
March Madness is officially upon us, so get those brackets out as I break down some of this year's tournament action. Let's start in the East with Duke coming in as #1 seed for the 14th time in Coach K's career, and they're taking on the winner of the NC Central and North Dakota State game as a 16 seed, and with 46% of brackets having Duke win the tournament, this might be the ultimate lock for Duke. Next, #2 seed, Michigan State. Coming off of their conference championship win over rivals Michigan, will face off against #15 seed Bradley. Watching this Michigan State team win the Big Ten championship after junior forward Kyle Arnes went down with a leg injury showed the grit of this team, and I expect them to go deep into the tournament. My first round upset in the East is coming courtesy of 14 seed Yale over 3 seed LSU. I don't think this Yale team is more talented, but with all of the off-court drama in Louisiana and their quick loss in the SEC tournament, I'm giving this one to the Bulldogs of the Ivy League. Heading down to the South region of the tournament, where you'll find another ACC 1 seed in Virginia. But that's not the team I'm here to watch. That team up in Knoxville has managed a 2 seed coming into this tournament. Foreseeing an easy first-round win against 15 seed Colgate, UT could possibly meet up in Ohio with 7 seed Cincinnati in the second round, giving a 7 seed home court advantage, which has Tennessee fans feeling some type of way, but anyone who pays attention to Vol Twitter knows that's not hard to do. Checking in on the Midwest region with powerhouses like UNC, Auburn, Kansas, and Kentucky, this is the region to watch. UNC comes in at #1 for the 17th time, and that's the most in NCAA history. Not to mention all 3 of Roy Williams' championships begin with Tar Heels as the #1 seed. But don't get distracted by the big names in this region, with the #7 seed Wofford Terriers coming in with the longest win streak in basketball at 20 games. And the absolute three-point shooting threat of the Northeastern Huskies really gives them a great opportunity in their first-round matchup against #4 Kansas. Last but not least, the West, led by 1 seed Gonzaga, seems about as straightforward as tournament play gets, with the win possibility really staying with the higher seeds Gonzaga, Michigan, and Texas Tech. Not saying teams like Florida State or even 12 seed Murray State, led by OVC Player of the Year and Naismith Trophy finalist Ja Morant, can't make some noise in this tournament, but I think the Zags come out on top. I'm Justin Wagner, and thanks for watching ATFW College Basketball Update.
Hi, I'm Anna Claire, and this is Pop-Up Silent Library Edition. Our first contender.
I'm Creed McIntyre.
One. Creed with the early 6-point lead on Anna Claire. Here he comes with the field goal attempt.
Oh, wide right.
24 seconds.
Ooh. Oh, a little too strong for Anna Claire. Stay out of the weight room, girl. No more field goals. Do a push-off. You get 2 pushes. Closest one to the edge wins. Ooh! With the touchdown, Creed coming in clutch. Anna Claire has to really bring her A game with her final push. Ooh, so close. We are centimeters away from a triple overtime, but Creed takes this one. So here we are with Creed, our former champion, playing Sahil. He's got a victory in his eyes, so I hope you're ready for this, Creed. Ooh, and he comes up clutch on the 4th down. Here comes the conversion. Boom! 7 points.
He's proving right now why he's the defending champion here.
Right there. Woo! And that's why we play the sport. That's why we do it. Stuff like that right there. Here comes with the field goal. Ooh, and it's 6-7 Creed. 3rd push. Ooh, and he scores again on his 4th down.
And the kick is no good. So he'll come up with his first push, 2nd push, 3rd push, let's see if he can edge it in. Short. Ooh, too strong today for Creed.
60 seconds is up.
Thank you, Sahil.
Wow. What a game.
For coming.
That's a high
We got a
level
natural
football.
competitor over here. Creed coming back. 3rd push. 4th push. And he's over the goal line. Ooh, and bounces off the right. Alex with the rebuttal. 1 push. 2. Ooh. Creed with a long first push. Ooh. We're going to need a ruling on this one. We're going to need a ruling.
Looks like he's short.
Boom. Ooh, I don't know. Ooh, and that's a touchdown. Did that go in?
Was it wide?
Was it wide? Wide right. So we're tied 6-6 as Creed comes back.
On the game clock.
Ooh. I'm going to have to give that one to Alex. And as he dethrones the champion Creed, it is a wonderful day here in the library.
I don't think you will.
Hi, I'm Brianna Phillips, and I'm here for your Gubs on the Go interview today. I have with me Cheyenne Kempf. How are you doing, Cheyenne?
I'm pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. So I'm really glad I have you to talk today because we're going to be talking about intramurals on Austin Peay State University's campus and go more in depth about them because it came to my attention that some people don't know about them and we know a lot about them. So first question, why don't you tell me more about intramurals here at APSU?
Well, basically, intramurals is a way for student organizations or just anybody to play sports without it being like super competitive or like stressful, I guess. You just sign up through the FOI and then you can play.
Okay, so you don't have to be a part of any organization on campus. You can just do it, and then other organizations like, let's say the housing offices, they can do it too?
Yeah, we've actually played against the different housing offices. We played against the BCM and just a whole bunch of different organizations. Anyone can really play. And then we also have free agents that can join, so just anybody.
Interesting. And so what kind of intramurals do you play, or does your team play?
We usually do soccer, whether it's indoor or outdoor. We do a lot of co-ed sports, so it's like that's male and female sports. We used to do basketball. We don't really do basketball anymore. And there's just a huge range of sports. We like to try everything like once. Like right now we're doing volleyball and soccer.
Interesting. What's your favorite sport to play and coach for your team?
Probably soccer, because I've been doing it for so long and nothing really changes for soccer. It's usually the same rules, the same everything to it.
And what would you say is your least favorite?
Basketball, because people always get hurt in basketball for some reason.
I think people just take it a little bit too seriously sometimes.
Maybe a little bit.
All right, and how would you describe working with the FOI on campus for the games, for scheduling, and everything like that?
I will say the FOI has gotten better than last semester, but they're still kind of hard to work with because you give them an availability, and most of the time they schedule the teams outside their availability, and they're not very lenient with like changing the dates, and it's kind of hard to get a hold of anyone from the intramural department. So you have to be determined to get a hold of the FOI to get everything organized.
Interesting. And have the changes that have come about, have they made it easier for you as the intramural chair and as the person who has to tell their team when the dates are and stuff, or?
They've made it a little bit easier because I do have more than just one game. Like I know the schedule for the next 3, which is new. Usually they'll tell me like the day of or like 2 days before. So it's actually a lot easier now to schedule that. But as far as like if I needed to change it, there's like never anyone in the intramural department to change it.
Okay, and how is working with other Greek organizations and organizations that are student-led on campus? Do they usually work out well with you? I know you said you guys do co-ed, so how is that?
It's usually a good time. You get to know these people more and then usually build that bond. Sometimes it is a little bit more rough if like they don't really know what they're doing, so it's like if I'm the only one that really knows how to organize everything, it's kind of rough. But I've never really had any issues with the members or anything, just the FOI and like trying to get all that scheduled. Okay, and what are some changes you'd like to make to the system that is here on Austin Peay's campus? I would like for them to not have us register through IMLinks, because every single time I register a team through IMLinks, there's always something that goes wrong. They've acknowledged that they know that there's something wrong with it, but they haven't made the effort to change it because they're still trying to make IMLinks work.
Okay, and how would you go about fixing it? Would you try to make that system work or just go to a completely new system?
I think that they can still try to make the system work, but the thing is they don't update the system enough. So I know that some of the information on there for the previous sports was not correct. Yeah. And it still says that teams are unpaid when they've paid, so that causes some confusion. So maybe try to update the system, and if that doesn't work, then switch over to a new one.
Okay, and what's the hardest part of intramurals aside from the FOI and them not working as well with you? What are some challenges you face with your organization and other organizations?
Sometimes it's hard to get people to show up to games. I mean, it is something you have to get up and do and like be there on time, and that's one of the biggest issues is people will say, sorry, I don't want to come. Maybe if you're just not feeling like exercising that day, or you just don't feel it, then it's kind of hard because you depend on people to hold themselves accountable. So that's the only issue outside of it that I've had. I haven't really had any other issues.
Interesting. Okay, and are intramurals more for fun or are they more competitive? Because I've seen our team get competitive a lot during like let's say dodgeball and stuff like that. So are they supposed to be just for fun, or do they really want us to get that competitive?
I mean, I think it depends on what organization you're going against, because I know if, like, let's say you have friends on the other team, you're going to go a little harder because it's like, okay, I want to beat my friend. Or if it's like an organization maybe you've had like a rough patch with, you're going to want to like say, hey, I'm better, so you're going to want to do that. But as far as like just in general, we usually don't have any problems unless it's like a sport we really, really like to play and we just naturally get competitive.
Okay, okay. And what are some sports you would like to bring to intramurals that we don't already offer?
I don't know if there's any sports I'd like to bring. I think that they should focus on making the ones that they have like happen, because it seems like they offer like a whole bunch of like very interesting sports, stuff that you don't see very often, but they don't publicize it enough, or they don't like, they schedule them at the same time as other sports. So it's like, I'd rather do this sport than that sport. I think they should just really maybe publicize everything more and make it easier for you to do all the sports you want to do.
Yeah, and I know I was told that that there needs to be more recognition about intramurals on campus. So how would you say that they should do that? Make it more known that these things are happening?
I think that they should definitely just like publicize it more. Like, I don't know if they have social media, which is an issue because I don't know if they have it.
Yeah.
So maybe like make social media so everyone can be like up to date, like, hey, they're doing this sport, maybe we should all go play, but also make it to where the people that are actually supposed to be running that department are doing their jobs running that department, so that everyone like has an easier time. Because if you go in and have a hard time even putting a sport together, you're not going to want to do that again because you had to do a lot of stuff you shouldn't have had to do.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, that's all the time I have today. Thank you so much for coming in, Cheyenne. I appreciate it so much. And now let's take a look at the AP 2-minute sports drill with Ashon Dowell.
I am Ashon Dowell, and here is your APSU sports update. The Austin Peay State University's baseball team got a quality outing from starting pitcher Brandon Dowell, supplying 6 scoreless innings in an 8-1 Ohio Valley Conference victory against Tennessee Tech Sunday afternoon. With this win, Austin Peay swept a 3-game OVC set against Tennessee Tech. It is the Govs' first sweep of the Golden Eagles since 2015. And congratulations to Coach Travis Jensen on recording win number 100 as a Govs coach. He becomes the 4th Govs baseball coach to record 100 wins. The Govs baseball team was also in action last night, defeating Western Kentucky 5-3, making this their 4th win in a row. Way to go, Govs. The Austin Peay State University softball team was also in action this past weekend, defeating Michigan State 5-2. Kelsey Gross led the charge by hitting a 3-run walk-off home run in the bottom of the 7th inning to close out their stay at the Miami Invitational Tournament. Austin Peay State University's golf team was also able to fend off opponents to remain in 4th place to conclude the Citrus Challenge, which wrapped up Tuesday at Red Tail Golf Club. The Govs fired a 305 in the final round to finish up at 914, making a valiant charge, but ultimately unable to overtake Georgia State, who shot a 912 for 3rd. Murray State shot an 873 took the team title with Kaiser, 894 as runner-up, and Dartmouth at 922. The Govs would take a 10-day hiatus before trading the Sons of Florida for the Hills of Eastern Kentucky, competing in the Colonial Challenge from March 29th through the 30th at the University Club at Arlington. This has been your AP 2-minute sports drill. Now back to you, Hunter.
Thanks, Ashon. Moving on to one of the most exciting events in sports, March Madness, starts very soon. Let's get right into it. Who is your guys' pick to win the tournament?
Well, I have my bracket right here. I'm not sure if the camera can see it, but I have the Duke Blue Devils winning the tournament. Zion will go down as one of the greatest college basketball players ever.
Yes, that is true. The Dukies, they're going to win because of Zion Williamson. He's just a phenomenal player. At his age, 18, he's 18 years old, 200 and something plus pounds of pure muscle. I don't think I ever see an ounce of fat when I'm watching this kid play. It's amazing what he can do. You know, I always say that, you know, LeBron James is my favorite player because show me someone who can do what he does, you know, at his height and at his weight. You know, when Zion get into the league, he might be knocking on that door. The kid is amazing. I don't see anyone who can stop him. And behind Zion is Coach K, who has been doing this for multiple years. He's a magnificent coach, and they're unstoppable.
Absolutely. Yeah, Zion, 6'8", 285 pounds. I've heard he has a 48-inch vertical. He's an absolute freak.
You know what? I got to watch them do a practice, and they were testing the vertical. Zion got his head up by the rim with ease.
All right, thank you so much for watching.
This has been After the Final Whistle.
We'll be back April 4th bringing you more current topics in the world of sports. From everyone here at ATFW, thanks for watching. Until next time.
You can help support Austin Peay State University students who do not have enough to eat. Donate to the Save Our Students Food Pantry on campus. Soup, pasta, canned meat, canned beans, peanut butter, and fruit are always welcome. You can drop off your donations at the pantry on Home Avenue. It's open Tuesdays through Fridays, 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m.